foremost, I have to thank Bishop Taylor, Beatrice, you all. This has been a journey. I'm proud to have you all here, like the anointing and the layering that this space gets to receive every single day from our people. Is a particular blessing and legacy that I take very seriously. Bishop Taylor and Beatrice can tell you that because they see me running through the entire city. I'm in the streets, y'all. But it didn't start that way. So this is 3 floors here in this building. We started in 1 room. We started 1 room, particularly free, and we could only afford to be open like 3 days a week. And that was what I could do then, 10 years ago, when community needed space. And it was through that journey that I realized that space is kind of like the legacy that I hope to leave behind and lead forward many years from now. But many. But the odds moving this space forward were always against me and my crew, right? So why am I obsessed with space was one of the things when I talked to Bishop Taylor, like what was I going to speak about? And it's like, why am I obsessed with space? And why am I obsessed with holding space, whether it's this room or whether it's a one-on-one conversation? Is because, thank you to my black therapist, yeah, she's the truth. But I never had space. Like, I was black, I was brown, I was queer, I was a peer kid. I grew up on the piers in New York for the majority of my college life with nowhere to go. Houseless and hustling, I say. And through that exploration of wanting space and needing space, I found that our community, whether it was on the pier, in a restaurant, in a room, at church, in a recreation space, we held space in a special way. Like, we held it on our back. And I became obsessed with that subliminally when I came to Newark. I've been here 15 years. I'm proud to call this city home. My husband and I, our legacy house is here. And the thing about Newark is it reflected back the same need that I had in that moment 10 years ago. When I was just an entrepreneur, trying to make change, working through strategy and marketing, I kept running into other people who needed space. And for the first time, I had it to give. And I gave it freely. And then we kept giving it until the day there was no more space to give. And then we had to figure our way through, which is another indicator of how we make space for each other, right? When there's nothing left to give. And I started to think, well, what does that look like for us? Because I ain't got no money. Right. So let's start with the base, like, right? The wealth is different. Currency is not coin. Right. You know, and so what did I have to give was I had a kind word, I had love, I had whatever trials and tribulations I had faced, I had that like landscape to pass on to everybody else so that they had an easier road than I did, right? I started my business like trial by fire in a basement in Brooklyn. Right. And so every decision was like make or break because there's a wealth gap that we all acknowledge, but by far there's a larger knowledge gap that we have to put each other on. And so I was good at putting people on. I was like, oh, when you get in this room, X, Y, Z, when you go to this event, this is who you need to talk to. You know, I was easy to know because I had hustled to make what we had currently. But making space is built in the DNA of our people. It was how I was raised, right, on my block, where my neighbors could not pay my parents' rent, but they could let my mom take an extra shift and watch me. We had this economy and this currency and this way of making things for each other so that we could make it by. And so after that, I was like, well, if I can do that, then how do I go out on a limb with what I did have? And room by room, Equal Space kept growing, year by year, with this crazy idea of making space and opportunity for everyone. It did not matter if you were a social justice champion, an entrepreneur, it didn't matter. We were going to find a way to not just let you in and get you in office, but to also like rally behind you. Like, what do you need? What can we give? And sometimes it wasn't much, but it was like, hey, I got an extra ticket to this. Go. Or here, take my ticket. Go to this event. And little by little, our people started to win. And then we started just holding space. together and putting each other on, bringing in speakers, people who I knew who were like hustling and making a way for themselves, and they were putting each other on, and the ripple started to get bigger, and the space started to get bigger.
Right.
So this idea of space led us to go from a room to the major anchor of this building. So we have 3 floors, 20,000 square feet of space here that celebrates blackness, celebrates brownness, celebrates radical queerness in a way that creates something called safe space. And there's no better way to like tie it all together for me than to say, that's what you all have here, is safe space. Like you breathe it into each other, even when it's feeling like everything is against you, right?
Right.
And that's when it becomes divine. And that's when spirit enters into the room and it becomes something that lifts you up. And for my youth, my people who are, and by the way, it's every age up in this piece. Everybody here, the diversity of age, the diversity of experience, but we all feel safe in this space for however long you can be here. And it's the most I can do now. I'll be able to do more tomorrow. But for now, it's more than enough, right? And so if I could give to anyone, for the people who can't be in this room, for the people you engage on the street, lifting, holding, giving space to people costs you nothing, but it does give everything. And so when I talk to my community and they express a need, I'm like, this is what I can do. And let's work it through, let's work it out. My team be thinking I'm crazy, because at every point I'm like, hey, we're gonna talk and we're gonna figure this out together. Because that's what we've done, right?
Yeah.
We've done it in recreation facilities, we've done it in underground railroads, we've done it all the way through. Because even though today we feel like everything is insurmountable, we can always make more space. And so that's what I wanted to bring to you all today, to thank you all, to say that this space will exist for you for as long as I'm here 10 toes down.
Yeah.
And
Thank
to
you.
thank you, because this is like the best liftment moment I could ask for from my husband. So thank you all for holding space for me.
Thank you.
Somebody got a blanket. From Mark. You still carrying? That's good. That's good.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Threw me off guard this morning.
Yay.
Hold the mic up.
Mic up.
Mic up to your mouth. Thank you.
I thought my mouth was big enough. Thanks again on my behalf for that award. I was really shocked, but I know he will be. Announcements. LGBTQ Center meal following service. All are invited to the Newark LGBTQ Center community meal downstairs. Rutgers University Health Outreach Pride event Thursday, June 26th. We will be tabling at the Community Over Everything Day. There will be free testing, live entertainment, games, giveaways, and more. The event will take place at the Rutgers Medical Science Building, 185 South Orange Avenue, Newark, in the MSB Courtyard. Newark Pride, 7/13. Save that date. We need a team to march in the parade. Please see Pastor Reverend Cheryl, if interested. Care of the Park, August 23rd. Join the Branchbrook Park Alliance team in caring for and cleaning up the park. All those interested, please see Sister Jackie Bragg. Sign up. Convocation 2025. Congregation of Passion. Registration is open on www.ufcmlife.org. Take care.
That's good. So I hope we receive the word today, right? Sometimes right? What do I have to give? That's why you have to find your shoes. That's why you have to always keep walking. Because, as we say in Unity Fellowship Church in Milwaukee, you're not dead. God's not done. There's more than a require of you. There's something else to do. Right? And the beauty of finding your shoes, as city dwellers, for those of us who might see what I mean? Well, city dwellers, and sometimes you have to change shoes depending on the assignment. Huh?
Yes.
You can't walk far in hard shoes.
Right.
You put on your sneakers. Right? You can't go to the beach in lace-ups. It's not going to be fun. You sit there. It's going to be hot. You're going to be irritable. So while you're finding your way, while you're finding your spot, while you're finding your mission, while you're finding your purpose, take the time to find your shoes. Right? What is it that I'm called to bring to this space, to this moment? Why am I here? Brother Slippery, come on. Listen, y'all. We're going to go downstairs in a minute. We're going to say grace. It ain't that long. I know people are like, what service is going to be 30 minutes? Oh, quick. But I just want us to understand how important it is for us to gather together. How important it is for us to gather together. Because in doing so, we find our shoes. We'll find all sorts of ways for us to be appreciative of all the ways that you bless us as a community and that you're moving in love with us as a church. And so as the building has grown, as our hearts have grown, just as it grows in the new house, so that you can see what God is doing viscerally, tangibly, that come fall when it is full and fruitful, that you're reminded you did that, just like you did this. Amen.